Okay, so now that we've drawn our Heather Gawler landscapes, we are ready to fill it in with pattern. So I'm going to use markers, but you can use whatever material you have at home. So if you're using markers, something important to keep in mind is there's a few ways to do this, and you can use any pattern you can think of. But if you're using markers, you want to make sure you're coloring very neatly and going in one direction. Something else you want to keep in mind is you want to start your main color as a light color, because then you can layer on top of it with a darker color for your pattern. So for example, for my sky, I'm going to fill it all in yellow, and then I'm going to do polka dots. I'm going very carefully around my barn and my trees. With marker, you can always see the little lines where you've made each mark. So that's why I always go in this way and go in one direction. I'm not going to fill in the whole area because then this video would be like an hour, but I'm going to show you a few ideas of how you can do each section. You'll notice I also have a piece of paper under this. That's because sometimes marker can go through the paper onto the table or the area which you're working. Okay, so I would keep going and fill in this whole area, but I'm not going to. So I picked yellow because yellow is a very light color. Now, I can go on top of it with another color. Maybe, for my sky, I'm going to do blue. And remember, this is an abstract piece of art. So your sky doesn't have to be blue and your ground doesn't have to be green. You can make this however you would like. So I'm going to do polka dots. Maybe I even want to alternate with different color blues. So I could do dark blue, light blue, dark blue, light blue, dark blue, light blue. And do something like this. There is no wrong way to do this. So that's an example, and I can fill in the whole area like this of something I can do in my sky. For my ground, you can keep using this method and using a light color and going over it with a different pattern in a darker color. I don't want to see any white spots because we are looking for good craftsmanship. So we want to take pride in our work and make it the neatest work we can do and take our time. This is going to take us more than one class, and that is okay. So I went over as orange as my light color, and maybe I want to use brown as my dark color. We can also use different types of lines as our pattern. So maybe I want to make this all zigzag lines. Maybe I want to make another one wavy lines or a checkerboard. okay? It's also worth taking note of, if you're using markers, that there is a thick side of your marker and a thin side. So if you want to fill in a big area, you should be using the side of your marker. If you want to make little details, you want to use the tip of your marker. So something else you can do is make a checkerboard pattern. So if you want to do something like that, you are not going to fill in the whole area first. You can draw your checkerboard, and then you would want to color in each individual box. And then you can pick an alternate color for the other squares in your checkerboard. You can draw different flowers in your rows. You can make emoji patterns or heart patterns, any kind of pattern you can think of. And I'm very excited to see all of your ideas. If I filled in this whole area first and then tried to go back over it, it wouldn't look as nice. But you can be using crayons or whatever you have available to you. Okay. So for all of mine, I always start with the sky, and then I can start at the bottom and fill in all of my other details in my trees, or if you drew a rooster, you can fill that in how you like. For this tree, I used diamond shapes. Maybe for this tree, I could experiment and see how a pink color would look and make hearts, or stars, or swirls. It is completely up to you. Okay, please email me if you have any questions. This is going to take us 2 classes, so don't rush. We're looking for craftsmanship, so take your time, don't rush through it. That's always very, very important in art. And do your best work and think of your most creative patterns.